So we have willing release, a change in the wind. Okay, a lot of air energy coming out already. We have Pleiades, we have double mission, channeling, and uplifting humanity. Butterfly, more air energy. And Leo, so some fire energy coming out at the end. Okay. Okay. Let's get into it. Let's talk about what your spiritual gifts and abilities are, because it is really jumping out to me, especially with all this air energy. What you are gifted in is clearing energy. You're gifted in clearing and transmuting energy. So what that means is you can kind of take like some funky energy and turn it into something more pleasant and more life-giving. And you do this really naturally. You're like an air purifier. You're like a walking air purifier. Odd image that just came to my mind, but that's what's coming to me for you. So I do want to talk about what the implications of this are. And this is sort of similar to what came through in group 1. It's different for many ways, but in the sense of how other people might utilize your gifts, I think that there is a similarity there, because when you are gifted in clearing energy and clearing spaces, people are drawn to you. And there's a reason that you're gifted in this. It's because your energy is so pure. And I think you're also drawn to and really like to be around a pure energy. It's like you can't really stand it if the energy around you is funky, if the people around you are in bad spirits, and if they're kind of just like oozing like a gross energy. That's just the only way I can think to describe it. It's not something that you will want to be around, so you're going to naturally clear and transmute. That means that people want to be around you. They want to be around the beautiful energy that you have to offer. They want you to clean up their mess for them a lot of the time. And that can be spiritually and physically some of the time, because a lot of times people who are like this have a way of kind of like prettying things up in many ways. So you might be somebody who can kind of like arrange things in a way that people like, or you can keep spaces clean, and people might come to you for that type of energy. But I think it's just important to note, because when you do this, a lot of times people are so drawn to you, they don't know why, but they're kind of like signing you up to do a job. And you might not have willingly committed to doing that job, but then here you are, like clearing space for everybody. And I think you kind of clear the space and you hold the space for people. Like a cleaner space, like a night. And I'm talking energetically. I don't mean like actual physical clutter. I mean energetically. Like maybe you come into a room and everybody in there is in a bad mood and arguing, and it's just a bad environment. You can feel it. Your presence in that room is going to like change the energy around. You're going to change it to something a little bit more light and uplifted, and something that people can actually stand to be in. I feel like for a lot of you, this comes up in your place of work. That it's maybe you've worked in toxic environments and you have been kind of like, it's not really, I want to say the bright light, but it's really not about that so much. It's like your presence is essential because you are like purifying the energy just by being there, which can be draining too. So we talked about that in pile 1. Like this kind of stuff can be draining. People, I don't think, intentionally mean to drain you. They don't know even why they're drawn to you or why they think that whatever you're doing is essential, because they don't know what you're doing. But it's just that having you around makes them feel better. So make sure you feel good too. You can't always just be clearing energy for other people. You have to honor yourself sometimes too. So we'll get into that. We don't want to look at this as a negative thing necessarily. It's just that could be one of the things to look out for, and I want to warn you about that, because when you are naturally gifted in things like this, you have no idea what you're doing, and you have no idea in what ways people may be kind of taking advantage of what comes naturally to you. So we have this a change in the wind card, and that's really what we've been discussing. And it's just interesting with these cards, even going on to these two cards too. There's so much air energy here. There's even a butterfly that showed up in this card, and then we have the butterfly card here. So there's a lot of air energy, and there's a lot of energy of transformation. And I think that really just talks about how you are able to change and transform the energy around you at any given time. This is actually a beautiful, beautiful gift to have. I think people around you feel at ease. I think you put situations at ease, and you make spaces beautiful for people, whether that is physically or energetically. It feels beautiful, it feels peaceful, it feels tranquil and serene when you are around. And you might be an air sign with all of this air energy, and you might kind of feel like you're like a breath of fresh air. Like when you come into a situation, like it's just a breath of fresh air. It's like springtime air. It's like something really fresh. Pleiades actually talks about really somebody who's called to express and to channel in very specific ways. So you might be somebody who's called to write or speak, or just channel, and you might channel through things that you write or things that you speak about, but there's a message that you are here to kind of bring to humanity. So I do want to kind of move on to the second thing that I'm picking up for you, is really you are some sort of light worker, which I know can be general, but this is a general reading. So you're basically somebody who's here to uplift humanity, like this card states. You're somebody that's here to pave new ways, new paths for creativity, for healing, for expansion. And so you're really here on an actual mission. Like, I think for a lot of you, you may have had that feeling like you're some sort of alien. Like you're not really from here. You don't really get how people operate who are here. Like having that, like, I'm not from Earth type of feeling to you. And that could kind of explain to you, like, you do come across as a light worker, and for some of you even a starseed. So you're somebody who's been introduced into humanity, into society, to really uplift the collective. And there's a lot of wisdom that comes with that. So you might be somebody who just feels like you have wisdom and you have knowledge, and you're not really sure how you have it. You might be somebody who really connects to the idea of having past lives, and you may have thought that might be why you possess so much wisdom around topics that maybe you don't even really have a lot of information about, but you just kind of have a feeling about how things are, and like deep spiritual concepts that just kind of come to you out of nowhere. They move to you easily, like all this air energy in your reading. The butterfly really lets me know, again, you're here to bring change. You're here to transform. I think your message is, it's a little bit different than the ones so far, than group 1 and 2. It's different because it isn't quite as specific, and I think that's because it's a collective reading. So the missions that you're on are different for each of you, but the message is the same, that you are here to bring change. I think that really now, like, what's coming to me is that you know what your mission is, so I guess I don't need to be specific. That's what your guides are letting me know, that I don't need to tell you what the mission is, because you already know what it is, and still I want to. So so yeah, I think that the general parts of it you can probably relate to. The general parts are that you're here to uplift, that you kind of just have like a beautiful, clear energy about you, and that you take it with you wherever you go. So it really might not be something that you have to specifically do or try at. Your mission might not be like, I have to spread this particular knowledge. It really might be that you kind of uplift everywhere you go. But in doing that, you're bringing change and transformation to humanity as a whole, which sounds pretty epic. And you might think, how the heck am I doing that? But just know that every person you come in contact with is touched by this energy and this wisdom that you project, and every person is transformed by interacting with you. So that actually can have a huge ripple effect. So don't sell yourself short when it comes to your ability to make change and to transform. And if you are called to share some of your knowledge or just your energy with people through creative endeavors, through writing or speaking or channeling and sharing the messages, do that, because that is the way that you can impact even more people. Whoa, you guys, that's a lot. Okay. You do have Leo coming out at the end, and this is really, like the card says, shine. So I think really what this is telling me is that your gift is for the benefit of all, like we were talking about, really raising the vibration of humanity in general. And your message is to really let that out and shine, because you're here to benefit everyone. So we've talked about your ability to clear and transmute energy. This is your main spiritual gifting that I am picking up on here. And then we've also talked about the fact that for a lot of you, you probably resonate with the term light worker and or starseed. That's not necessarily a spiritual gifting, but it is something that is worth noting. So other gifts that I'm seeing come out here are, you have the gift of service, or the gift of serving. You are here to serve others. That doesn't mean you're a doormat, so please don't take it that way. You are just somebody who is so gifted in caring for other people, of making yourself, you're gifted in making yourself of service to people. And trust me, not everybody can do that, because not everybody is as selfless and giving as you are. So that's another main gift that is popping out to me. I think you also possess the gift of leadership. So this means you were a born leader and you were meant to light the way, and that can come in, kind of come into this whole idea of being a light worker too, and lighting the way. And I think, as we talked about before, also the gift of wisdom is coming out. I think you know things, and you're very tapped in spiritually, and maybe even in ways that you do not understand. And you might receive messages or just have knowledge that it's almost like you kind of remember before you came here, if that makes sense. It's like you have memories of things that took place before you were born, which then gives you knowledge that you can't understand why you have. Yeah. Yeah, if you know what I mean, then you'll know what I mean, because I think this would be something that's kind of prevalent in your life, and maybe even an area of pause and questioning for you for many years, because you might just wonder, like, how do I know that? Or like you're struggling to remember something, struggling to remember past life or something, because you feel so drawn and connected to these certain energies and you don't really understand them. So that kind of explains it. Let's look at your tarot cards. We are going to use these tarot cards to tell us why this gift is a blessing, why it might be challenging, and how you can further develop it if you so choose. I think for you, I can get into this when we get there, but I'm just kind of picking up on this energy and feeling like how powerful and meaningful your gift is and your purpose here on Earth. I don't know if this is something you really need to develop. It feels like something that you were born to do, like you were born specifically to do this. So we will look and see what the cards have to say. So why this gift is a blessing, we have the Knight of Inspiration. So this is Knight of Wands energy, very fiery energy, so drawing me back to that Leo energy. I think that really why this is a blessing was kind of what we touched on in the beginning of the reading. I was exploring with you some of the ways that this could be draining to you, or could be viewed more negatively, just so you'd kind of know like how people might be drawn to you, and really drawn to your ability to clear the energy for them. But the Knight of Inspiration really tells me that the reason that this is a blessing is because people are drawn to you. So it's probably a little bit of both. There's, you know, if you don't watch it, if you don't watch yourself and watch your energy and care for yourself, it can be maybe a little bit too much. To be honest with you, I don't even see anything here that would suggest that you can't handle it. So I guess we haven't looked at your challenge yet, but it might be that you're just very well able to manage that, and you're able to clear in energy all the time and not become drained by it. So that could be the case. People are drawn to you, and this is why it's a blessing, because people are attracted to you, and that really levels up your area of impact. So I guess that's what we were talking about, like if you'll be able to make this great change, like how are you going to affect so many people? The way that you're able to is because you've got a certain charisma about you, and you've got a beautiful energy about you. So people are drawn to you, which means you will be able to impact more people than you might even realize. So you're able to reach a lot of people, and that's why this is a blessing. I think also the Knight of Inspiration really tells me that you're not afraid to kind of go down new paths, to pave new paths. So you're willing to enter unknown territories. You're willing to kind of get out of your comfort zone and pursue your destiny. I think this is something you feel. You kind of feel like your heart is being pulled in this direction, and you're not afraid to explore it. And you're motivated and you're enthusiastic about it, and so that is really a blessing to everyone around you. Let's look at how this gift may be a challenge with your next card. We have the Six of Materials in the reverse. Okay, so that's Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles talks about generosity, and this card's coming out in reverse. So this might be the little bit of warning. I'm always getting ahead of myself, I guess. Like, I'm picking up on that and then thinking, well, maybe it's not even a thing. I think it is a thing. I don't think it means that you're going to necessarily be challenged by this, but I think it's a reminder just for you to take care of yourself and to take care of yourself first. Like, not even just take care of yourself after you've cleared energy and uplifted everybody around you. Take care of yourself first so that your cup is running over and you're able to supply what you want to supply for those around you. You can give too much is what this Six of Materials in the reverse is saying, that it is possible for you to give too much, and you have to kind of keep that in check. Don't share too much of yourself, and that you can become drained if you're constantly kind of clearing up and cleaning up for everyone around you, and that your relationships at times can maybe seem a little bit one-sided because you are doing so much and you care so much, and you're always having everyone else in mind, and maybe sometimes you feel like people aren't thinking of you in the process of all of this. So yeah, I was picking up on that in the beginning of the reading. Again, this doesn't mean that you have to face this challenge. It's just a reminder. It's kind of like showing you how this could go if you don't value yourself and care for yourself enough as you are pursuing this mission and this work that you're here to do. So yeah, put yourself first. Make sure you have everything you need before you start pouring out for other people. Okay, and your final tarot card is going to be how you can develop this more if you choose to do that. So you have the Two of Materials. This is Two of Pentacles energy. So more earth energy here. The Two of Pentacles talks about balance. It talks about kind of striking a balance. And I think for you, it's really more of that same message. I think that's striking a balance between caring for others and caring for yourself. I think sometimes maybe you can take on too much. You can take on too much of other people's energy. You can take on too much of other people's problems. And it can be a lot because you can see exactly what needs to be fixed. You can see exactly how things can be made better. So you just dive in to try to fix them and clean everything up. But it's a reminder to pace yourself so that you are not depleted, because you do tend to give a lot. It's really interesting because I questioned whether or not, after seeing your reading and seeing what your gift was, I was questioning whether or not you really need to develop this, because it feels like something that you were just born to do. And of course, like I was saying, there will be a little bit of development, but it feels like it's like you just came here to do this. And so I don't know what kind of advice I would be able to give you, but it's interesting. It's not actually advice in how to do what you do. I think you do what you do very naturally. I think your advice is really in taking care of yourself and finding balance while you're doing what you do. So really interesting. Pretty much the only way you can go wrong is if you drain yourself with this. I think you know what to do. It's basically the message here. You know exactly what to do. You know why you were not really brought here. You know why you chose to come here. You chose to come here to uplift humanity. You are definitely a light worker in every sense of the term, and you're like a joy to be around. Really, like, I think people are really drawn to your pure and calming energy. So I think that's all I have for you. If you enjoyed this reading, if any of it resonated, please leave me a thumbs up and a comment down below. And if you feel like subscribing, I would love for you to do that. I would love to have you here. And I'll see you in your next reading. Bye.